Hello guys, this is Nihal. Welcome to my YouTube channel Education Hub. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel. So our today's topic is greatest integer function. Lots of students have lots of doubt in this topic. So I am here today to remove all your doubts through this video. So without wasting your time, let's get started. Okay, if you really want to learn how we can solve the problems regarding greatest integer function, then you have to be well versed with this graph. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you about how you can form these graphs, but I will tell you how you can use these graphs to solve problem regarding greatest integer function. Okay, so the darkened dots and the hollow dots you can see here. Okay, so darkened dots are showing and what hollow dots are showing. So darkened dots are showing that the function has a closed value at that point. For example, if you have the darker dot at 2, that means the function has a closed value at 2, and if it has a hollow dot at 2, that means the function is open at that particular point. Okay, so what we can do with this result, let's see. For example, if you have a situation where they have given you 0 0.5 inside a greatest integer function, and they are asking what value will come out of this box. Okay, so if you know this graph, then you can easily tell what will be the answer. How? Let's see. Look, 0 0.5 will lie from between 0 and 1, correct? Then see, between 0 and 1, where is the function is closing? Where the function is closing? Okay, between 0 and 1, the function is closing at 0. That means our answer will be 0. Okay, come to the next one. If they given the question 1.2 inside a greatest integer function, then what you have to do is just locate this point. 1.2 will lie between somewhere 1 and 2, correct? Then see, between 1 and 2, where the function is closing. So the function is closing at point 1, as you can see here. So our answer will be 1. If they have given an integer inside a greatest integer function, then that integer will come out of that. You don't have to be worried what will be the answer. You just write that integer out of that box. Okay, as we have done here, the 1 is inside the greatest integer function and the answer is also 1, as 1 is an integer. Similarly, if we have a situation where they have given a number minus 0 0.5 inside the greatest integer function, then locate this point on this number line. Where it will be? It will be between somewhere minus 1 and 0. Okay, between minus 1 and 0, just see where the function is closing. So it's closing somewhere at minus 1. As you can see here, the darkened dot is on minus 1. So our answer will be minus 1. As of now, we have seen that we have to find the point which is inside the greatest integer function on the number line. Then we have to find where that function is closing, and that closing point will be our answer. Now let's see few more examples for clearance of our concept. Okay, so we have 2.1 inside the greatest integer function. Then consider where it will lie on the number line. Then you can easily locate that this point will be lie somewhere between 2 and 3. Okay, so between 2 and 3, just see where between 2 and 3 graph is closing. So the graph is closing at point 2. If you can see here, the darker dot at point 2, and 3 is here, 2 at 2. So answer will be 2. Similarly, if they have given the 3.1, then you have to locate that point, the 3.1 on the number line, and that point will be lie somewhere 3 and 4. Okay, and between 3 and 4, the function is closing at 3. So our answer will be 3. Similarly, if they have given a value minus 1.9, then locate that value on the number line. Where it will be lie? It will lie between minus 1 and 2. And between minus 1 and 2, where the function is closing? The function is closing at 2, because the darker dot as dot is at 2. So our answer will be minus 2. Similarly, you can solve all these questions. Okay, we have seen lots of examples. Now get to the properties. What are the properties of greatest integer function? So there are two three properties. Let's see quickly. So if there is a function y, then its value will be somewhere between x and x minus y. Okay, it will be greater than x minus 1 but less than x. What is this x and x minus 1? We'll see it through example. So these properties will clear more through example. Okay, the second property is, if m is an integer and it is given inside that greatest integer function, that is x plus minus m, then that integer will come out of that box. Okay, the third property is, if any number x is inside the greatest integer function and we are doing addition and we have another number, another similar number with negative sign inside the greatest integer function, then its value might be 0 if x is an integer, and it might be minus 1 if x is not an integer. Okay, so let's see how we can use these properties in our questions. We have seen two three properties so far. Now we are taking few example to understand those properties. The first example is, if we have 1.3 inside the greatest integer function, then its value will lie somewhere between 1 and 2. Here 1.3 is acting as a y and x is acting as a 2 and x minus 1 is acting as a 1. Okay, now come to the second example where we have a decimal number with an integer number. So when you have such situation, then you can write the integer part out of that box and you will only have the decimal number inside that box. Okay, then you can solve it easily, as here we'll get answer of this box is 1. So 1 plus minus 2 will be our answer, right? Now come to the third example where we have a decimal number inside the greatest integer function and its negative value inside that box, then its answer will be 0 if this these numbers are integer, and minus 1 if these numbers are not an integer. Okay, what is the meaning if they are integer? For example, instead of 1.3 we have written here as 1. For example, we have written here 1 and minus 1, then you know that 1 and minus will be cancelled out and our answer will be 0. But here the 1.3 inside the greatest integer function and minus 1.3 inside the greatest integer function will give some another value, like 1.3 will give us a 1 and minus 1.3 will give us minus 2. Then both of these will cancel out and we will have minus 1 finally. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. Share this video to your friends and hit a like button also.